I've had dozens of people tell me there's all types of changes going on with postal fees. Today we're going to set the record straight. We're going to look at the straight truth from the post office. Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to talk about the postal changes that are taking effect in 2022. I've received dozens and dozens of people telling me there's all types of surcharges and all these other fees that are going to be levied against resellers or people shipping boxes in general. Most of what I hear is not correct and is only based on actual recommendations, something that hasn't been approved at all. There's very few changes that I can find anywhere that are going on other than prices with standardized shipping right now. So let's hop over and take a look straight from the post office on what is going on, as well as why there seems to be a confusion on fees. Now here is the actual announcement that talks about the actual rate increases that will be going on starting in January of 2022. Everything is spelled out in here. Everything is spelled out in here. You can easily see the differences. Now, it's not a super huge amount. Medium flat rate is going up. Small flat rate is going up a little bit. Large flat rate actually went down a few cents. The APO flat rate box, letter rate box went down. Regular flat rate is up $1 or so. You've got $1 on legal flat rate envelopes, as well as padded flat rate envelopes. Now, we know there were some increases for the Christmas season. Again, those were all announced. If I don't see an announcement from the post office, it's not official. I don't care what anybody else says. There's a section called National News on the U.S. Post Office's site. Every update, price change, or anything else is posted on that page. This is actually the national news page itself right here. Now, I am going to have links to every one of these pages down below in the description box right at the top, so you can see it all yourself. Everything that goes on in the post office, in fact, we can change the amount here, you can look at on this page. It has everything that's announced, all the rate changes, any other thing that goes on shows up here. Forever stamp changes, anything. And you can download these all as PDFs and instantly see them. So if you want to see rate change sheets, you can print one up. Same thing with this one. This rate sheet is from November 10th. So all you got to do is slide down here and the actual rate sheets are right here. So everything that's announced is always announced in advance. So if it's not on here, don't pay any attention to it. There's been tons of grumbling about stuff that's going to be changing, and none of it has been approved. None of it has been approved. Now, some of the confusion comes if you search on Chrome, a page comes up here. Now, I'm not going to click on this page because the page information is not correct. These are only if things get approved, and nothing has been approved at this point. So only the changes you see that I just showed you are going to be in effect going forward. It's just the way it is. So all these posts here talking about a $4 increase per package if it's over 22 inches is not a legitimate charge. It has not been approved. If you read the article too, it's very poorly written. There's some major errors in grammar and a whole bunch of other issues. So I wouldn't take faith in anything that's done from a page other than the post office itself. But I do believe this is where the confusion comes into play. Now, the biggest comments I keep hearing are increases if the size is over a certain amount. It already has those at the post office right this minute. There are maximum sizes for every single package class there is. That has never changed. They're still there right now. If something is oversized over the max dimension, you are forced to go the next level up if that one has a dimension that would match. So there already is a oversized charger, has been for many, many years. In the past, I've had to pay a $10 extra fee for packages that were over the actual dimensions of a box. So it is something that has been there for quite some time. There are maximum weights for every class. There's maximum sizes in dimensions. There's maximum thickness for like first class. Even postcards have a maximum size that they can be to go through the mail at a standard postcard rate. So there is no difference or changes in any of that. There's already been fees and requirements for sizes. If it's over a specific size, you can't ship it that specific method. End of story. The one thing I can tell you, though, is always make sure you have the correct dimensions listed in every listing. Now, that's the packed dimensions. Make sure that the actual dimensions you put in are for the completed, packed, ready to go in the mail item. You have to estimate sometimes, so if you're not sure, add a couple inches in just to be safe. As long as you have the correct dimensions and weight in there, you should be safe, but you can always go to the post office's site as well and make sure that the dimensions are correct. All you got to do is act like you're going to mail a box, type in the dimensions, the weight, and the service you want, and it's going to tell you if it's okay to go that way. So if you got a real big box, it might be over the dimensions, you need to check no matter what. I would not always trust eBay to tell you, hey, this will not ship this method. Most of the time when eBay points it out is when it's already been sold and you're trying to ship it. So don't do it at the end. Do it right away. Make sure everything's correct and in there. Verify it with the post office, the length, dimensions. You can actually print up the charts from there. All of the information on the post office's website is basically available in a PDF as well. So you can download each one of those flyers or sections that says the dimensions, keep them in a book, mount them on a wall, whatever you wish to do, but they're all already there. On this page here, you can see the minimum and maximum sizes on these. You can see the thickness that's required on all of these means of shipping. Everything is spelled out for you, so be very, very careful and pay attention to this. If you're unaware that there's size requirements for maximum and minimum amounts, you need to go back and check on the post office itself as well. Don't trust eBay to tell you any of the information. It's not their responsibility to cover this aspect. Your responsibility is to know that your items are safe and can be shipped by the appropriate means that you are stating on eBay. eBay isn't the policer of what is or isn't shippable. It's the post office. And that is partially why it doesn't show up on eBay until you're actually going to mail it out. They'll let you charge for specific types of mail, but when you go to mail it, it won't be an option. You might have to go to Pirate Ship or PayPal or somewhere else. Now, many people are also posting on oddball and weird size packages costing more. That's always been a thing. If it can't go through a machine scannable for any service, basically, it has to be hand scanned, it's usually cost you more. That's just been the way it has been. So if you're sending some big oddball shape that can't fit through the normal belts or services in the system, usually there is a special handling fee to compensate for that. Like with first class mail, if it's not bendable, flexible, or it's too thick, it can't go regular first class mail. That's a big no-no for many of those items, or you'll get a surcharge on it. They will charge you the next level up on service. That's always, again, the way it's been. The biggest takeaway, though, is if it's not posted here on national news, on the post office's website, it's not a thing yet. Most of all the information I see out there talking about the post office changes are only looking at the proposal, not the actual postal rates or changes. They have to be approved. It's not something that the post office can just say, hey, this is what we're going to do, and it's going to happen tomorrow. It has to be approved by Congress. It has to be approved by the actual government agencies who regulate and handle that sort of thing as well. So pay attention to this page if you ever want to know what is going on. They tell you all sorts of information on here. Deadlines to ship, how the service is running right now, if they're running delays. Any aspect that happens at the post office is almost always available on this page. They make posts and updates constantly, as you can see. In December, there's about a dozen of them already, and we still have, 10 or 11 more days to go. So again, look through here. If it's not on here, don't pay any attention to it. Don't listen to other people telling you something. Just go to the post office's site and check it out for yourself. Again, there will be links down below to all of these actual locations so you can instantly read this information for yourself. So again, don't rush to judgment. Don't panic. Don't worry. It's not the end of the world. There's small increases overall. Now, we do calculated shipping for everything too. So when prices change, if you're doing calculated shipping, it just changes with your listings. You don't have to go in and do anything. A lot of people get themselves in trouble by not putting in correct weights on their actual items. They won't put in any measurements whatsoever. So when they go to ship and they actually put in the actual dimensions, it may be over oversized and cost them a lot more money. So pay attention to it. Calculated shipping, though, in my opinion, is the best for almost everything, especially big and heavy items. You won't go wrong because it calculates it at the current shipping rate, whatever that may be. So if it changes, that's the rate it's going to use. Well, there we have it. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
Hello, my friend, how do you do? We hope you have a moment or two to listen to what we have to say to each and every one of you.
It concerns our postal system.
Our lifetime friends, as all of you know, they've never failed us through the years, through driving rain, sleet or snow.
But now they've got a problem.
And what are they to do? The answer, my friend, is very simple. It's up to you to see them through.
Well, back in the days of the 13 colonies, cry was freedom and how to defend it. Mailing a letter wasn't much trouble.
There weren't too many places to send it,
But now it's a different story.
they've got more mail than ever before.
It's stuffed in bags, stacked on shelves.
There's hardly room for anything more.
There's been a mail explosion.
They've got a terrible load. You've got to help them right away before you